So you don't think this rash is going to get any bigger? Oh,
I
we're
don't
live.
know. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy Friday to another episode of Gamestack podcast right here on We Just Love Games Network.
This
is
this this isn't the podcast.
what are you
If you notice, the title on the Twitch says that we're playing. Oh, it's Let's Play with Vendor.
Oh, let me change that. Well, someone else.
You want me to fix that?
Yeah,
I can fix that. I can fix
Shalene,
that.
he's trying to mutiny the channel.
Episode 94.
Well, I mean, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go fix that. Y'all talk
Okay.
amongst yourselves.
Welcome to episode 94. Hurry up. Right here on Gamestack Podcast. Right here on We Just Love Games Network. Happy Friday, everyone. I am your host, Vendortron. And joining us this evening is the champion stallion, Rick. Hello, Rick.
Oh, stallion! If I were only Italian. Hello.
Champion thoroughbred.
I like
And
all of this.
Also, we have the majestic unicorn, Shalene.
Well, hello.
How are you guys doing? How's your week?
I'm good. You seem to have an equine thing going on.
Oh, it's, I just like to stay a hoof of things.
Oh, good. Mainly, the week's been going all right.
Oh,
I'm quiet?
I had a good week in the beginning, and then it just spiraled downwards steadily.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, today was difficult. Yesterday was also difficult. I'm very tired, but the beginning of the week was really good. So,
well, that's good. Well, it's
it
Friday.
balances out.
You're in your favorite part of the internet at your favorite part of the week, which is the end of the week.
I must say, though, that my week just literally at 8:35 Eastern Standard Time took a nosedive down because you both missed one of my greatest subtle puns ever. I said equine. You said I want to stay a hoof. And then I said mainly. The week has been good.
Oh!
We need to just stop the show now. And there's nothing better than explaining a joke that no one got.
Well, it's
that was so good.
Some might call it beating a dead horse.
But
we just need to take this podcast by the reins and
yeah.
Well, it's just proof that I'm the glue that holds this thing together. But anyway.
Well,
you need to stand up in your stirrups and just move forward.
Yes, pull your boots up by the straps and saddle up because the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you go to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a nice, shiny, delicious bag of our I always forget the first part
You
of
just
the
love
blend.
Wait, Tenango?
No, that's the second half. The first half is Haryaika?
What? No, it's Guatemalan, I thought.
No, it's a blend.
I know it's a blend.
It's delicious. It's
they
really
got
good.
our picture up now.
Oh, good.
Peru Cayamarca.
That's it.
Tenango. That is the blend. It is a blend. Every $2 from every bag, every purchase goes to the Children's Miracle Network. And we have high praise on that coffee from some of our listeners, but also Shalene and Rick because they've ordered it.
It's very tasty.
I need to get some new stuff. After vacation, we're like fresh out of good coffee. So
yeah. If you are listening live, host us on Twitch. If you're new to the channel, just discovering us, hit that follow button so you can get notifications of when we go live in your inbox. If you are listening after the fact, like the majority of our audience, welcome and happy weekend if you catch this on the weekend. If it's in the middle of the week, we hope that we're making you, helping you through your workday, and carrying you through the week with the sounds of our sensual voices. Don't forget, share the show, like us on social media, give us a 5-star review shout out, and we'll read your little shout out on the show. Yeah. We do have some Discord members. Rick, do you want to take us through that list of beautiful people?
Sure thing. I have never seen them, so I can't quantify whether or not they are beautiful, but we'll go from there.
I think we can just go on faith.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they're beautiful. We know they're beautiful.
Beauty comes from within too, Rick.
I know, like Marilyn Manson said, beautiful people are everywhere. Lawful Good DM, thank you for joining us. Then we have Arseno Hall. I prefer Arseno.
Arseno, coincidentally, my mother's maiden name.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I was pretty sure that this was a Greek word pronounced Arsinoe.
Well, it's
Is that your
spelled
mom?
differently, but no, definitely not.
Well,
If it is your mom, then maybe you should be a little more careful about your posts.
I prefer to think that it's an alter ego of Arsenio Hall, but that's fine. Arsinoe in the house. Vod Knockers.
Quite possibly the best username I have ever seen.
Yeah,
I don't know
That's
why.
pretty good. That's
I don't
pretty
know why,
good.
but it just rolls off the tongue.
I was reading this during vacation. I was staring at this username, like trying to pronounce it properly and figure out like what exactly was going on. But it's pretty verbatim. Vod
Beautiful.
Knockers.
It's beautiful.
Van 73, Root 2/2, and that's a weird username. The username is, can we also talk about how silly tech support has gotten and other channels?
No, that's my notes. You're not supposed to read that.
I know.
Yes, hello, tech support here. How can I help you?
For our audio listeners, Shalene has a background of The Office from Animal Crossing. Is it Animal Crossing?
It is, yeah. This
And,
is
and
Isabel's
she has a
office.
headset with an attached microphone, so it looks like she's actually like a call center agent.
Yes.
So it's extra good. Come to think of it, I've had that exact fax copier. That's there. Yeah, with the
It's
big,
the same one we have in
it's-
my office.
It's Xerox.
Yeah.
It's Xerox, isn't it?
It is a Xerox.
Nice. That's,
Yeah, the Discord's getting crazy, and I love how we had a tech
course it
support
is.
channel, but it actually turned into like a modified alternative of GIF Wars.
Did it? I haven't
yeah,
been there.
it's like not even about tech support. It's just people talking about funny things that happen with tech support. So it's really great. Yeah.
Oh my
still-
gosh, look at this one. The global internet is being attacked by sharks, Google confirms.
What?
Oh, it's probably with their
There's a
cabling.
picture of a shark chewing the fiber optic cable in the ocean.
My favorite was, did you guys ever watch Strong Bad from back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
My complete strong bad experience is from things you've shown me.
Oh man, because like there was one where like they had like internet problems in Strong Badia or whatever, and they go there, and one of the characters had like a hose shoved into a server, and it was like these like little bubbles coming out of the server, and they're like, "What's?" And like Bubs is one of the characters, like, "What's going on?" And they walk over, and there's Strong Mad with a hose in his mouth, and he's like, "I'm a website," and it's just he's sucking up all my bandwidth. He's literally like sucking on the hose.
Yeah.
So good. But I was gonna say that I need to do a couple things for the bot. I need to do some updates, guys, and I'm sorry it's taken so long.
Where's my astrology channel?
I need to do that. I also need to add a couple other alerts, but mainly everyone seemed to really love. It took a few weeks, honestly. In the .cute command, I added
You're so...
another
Oh,
I added another parameter
You
that was
troll.
just the search. It would search for a GIF with the keyword of freak, and that would post, every once in a while it would post a freaky GIF. And it threw people off for a while. Just they'd get something real out of the blue, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, what is this?
It's weird.
How is this cute?
Yeah.
And I decided that I'm going to put a gamble command in.
Gamble
I think that's
for-
great.
for
I don't know how-
GIFs.
Yes.
Oh, I like
So you
Gamble for
get a
gifts.
random gift.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it'll be like you're not quite sure what you're gonna get. It could be good, it could be
You
terrible.
might get adorable kittens.
Yeah.
You might get rickrolled.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I need to do that though. And somebody actually did figure it out. They're like, man, like every third GIF is a weird one. And I was like, yeah, he got the
Leave it-
ratio. It only took like 3 weeks.
Leave it to our Discord community to diagnose the problem and figure it out for us
In
before
3
we even know that
weeks?
there's a problem.
I mean,
Um,
I'm in control of the bot's programming, and it took them 3 weeks to figure out I was screwing with them.
Well, the best is that this new channel showed up that no one else can see but us, and there was all these like commands and gifs in it, and I was like, "What's this?"
Oh.
What
And I
is
was like,
going on in
"Oh,
here?
He's doing.
Yeah, I was
things.
testing, yeah.
He's testing things out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the Discord is coming along quite nicely.
it's fun.
How can people join the Discord?
They can go to the link right below. Who's on the bottom? Me. They can go to the link right below me here. It's up available on our Twitch page 24/7, or you could send any one of us three a text message I'm no longer active on not a text message, like a message on. Well, either way, we get messages via social media that are based in text. So text message, message us on social media or send us an email at info.
Yeah, but probably don't send it to Rick because he'll ignore it.
Well, that's only on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter anymore, but you can find me on Instagram these days.
Really?
That's pretty much it. Oh, I love Instagram.
What happened to you?
First
you were all like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, and now you're on Instagram?
I'm an Insta influencer, baby.
What? Okay. Moving along. Tonight we're going to talk about some news. We've got some gameplay. I didn't actually fill in the game stocks, so that might happen. We're going to talk about what our listeners are playing because we have our new fancy and shiny screenshots channel in the Discord. So we've got some screenshots from video games and also a couple of video game stories that we have to share. And then we're going to talk about what we're playing. So we've got a pretty standard show tonight. And of course, because it is the end of August, we need to talk about September. So Rick is going to take us through the September new releases in this Just In. Take it away, Rick.
Well, these are the games that you can expect in September. And it starts on the 1st of September with Lake on the PC and Xbox.
Is that the one where you play as a postman?
What?
I need to get that game. I need that game. I really do.
So what about the name Lake makes you think, oh, Postal Service?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's the game. Wait, let me Google this.
I've said one title and we're already off track.
It is. This is the one where you're the mail carrier.
What?
Yes, it's a game where you're a mail carrier and it looks fabulous.
Could they not?
I really want this game.
Could they not call it mail for reasons?
Are you going to play it?
I mean, I want to, but I haven't played anything else that I've been wanting to play. I don't remember the last video game I played. You
Did
guys
you play the game that I bought you for your
What
birthday?
are video games? No, I didn't play that. The Raccoon Police one. I wanted to play that so bad. I haven't
got you the
touched it.
special edition.
You did, and I haven't touched it. I have games that I haven't even tried. It's
God,
it's ridiculous.
Well, I know what I'm not getting you for Christmas.
Yes. Yes.
Need some time.
I'll get her an admin assistant who can play her games for her.
And then report on how good or bad they
and
are.
then tell her whether or not they were good or bad. Yeah.
Then I can come on the show and be like, yeah, my intern played that.
Rachel says that one's no good.
What do we call our intern? Because like the Beth intern flows very nicely, but we would call ours the intern. See, like we intern.
My personal intern would be the
stack
intern.
intern.
Stack turn.
No. Here we are planning the show.
Anyway, on the 2nd of September, you can get Demon Gaze Extra for the PlayStation 4 and the Switch, as well as
Big fan.
WRC. What?
Big fan.
Okay. WRC. You actually know what that is?
No.
Okay. Also on September the 7th, you can get WRC 10, which I think is a World Rally game. World
Rally
Cross?
It was the World Wrestling Championship.
Wow.
Get out. Get out.
I just
get out.
I'm too tired to be here today.
It is totally the World Rallycross or Rally. Anyway, that's available for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. On September the 3rd, you get Big Rumble Boxing, Creed Champions. I should have said that, like Creed Champions. Anyway, so that's PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and the Switch, as well as the Medium on PlayStation 5 on September 3rd is released as well. Don't get it. Just watch our stream if you're curious about the Medium and you're into survival horror. Please watch our stream before you buy.
That game, it's a roller coaster. There are some very excellent things about that game.
Yeah.
But there are also some parts of that game that should have been left on the cutting room floor.
Oh no.
Like the middle.
Yeah, most of the middle.
The middle and all of the balance beam
all
things.
of those balance beams,
Good
man.
God.
How many balance beams can you fit into one game?
All of them. On September the 7th, we have Chernobyl Light on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. And I think this is something I had been looking forward to.
I want to play that.
Yeah.
I think it's on
It looks
PC
fantastic.
on Steam already, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another Chernobyl-esque game that's coming out pretty soon called The Liquidators.
Okay.
Which
I'm
is
not
That one looks cool.
It's
I'm
more.
not sure which one I'm
It's
thinking of.
more. So Chernobyl Light is different in respect to video game design in that it is more horror. Which most of the Chernobyl lore that's out there is really sort of horror based, like mutants and stuff like that. But Liquidators, I think, is actually more historical. So you're meant to actually go through that experience of being a liquidator, which I really like because it's an ode to them. Those people gave their lives to save millions of people in Europe, right? And so I'm looking forward to Liquidators. I think that's going to be really good.
Cool. Yeah. Also on the 7th, you get Fist. Forged in Shadow Torch. I feel like they shoehorned that.
7th. I can't wait.
Actually, I should say this title as proper Gamestack. We have F period, I period, S period, T period, colon, Forged in Shadow Torch for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox, along with Sonic.
You might also call it Fist colon?
Oh, Shalene. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, you guys.
I shouldn't be here.
AKA prostate exam. Sonic Colors colon Ultimate for the PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and Switch. Moving on to September 9th, you get The Artful Escape on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox. On September the 10th, you have a few options to pick from. Life is Strange colon True Colors on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox.
Shalene, we have to prepare for
we
this.
We need to play it, yeah.
Lost in Random, PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, and the Switch. Tales of Arise, PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. And WarioWare, colon, Get It Together, exclamation point on the Switch. Go figure. On the 14th, you can get Deathloop for PC and PlayStation 5. That's a pre-order. You can pre-order it now, actually. On the 16th of September, you can get such gems as Banji Dream, sorry, not colon, that's the wrong one. Banji Dream, exclamation point, Girls Band Party, exclamation point for the Switch. That does not scream.
Where did this list
come
from?
Really weird.
Is this not Joseph's list?
No, it's not.
It is?
Mm-mm.
It's not?
Well, it's based on Joseph's list. It's the same place that he would get the...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is Banji Dream Girls Band Party? Woo! That sounds like a...
Well, it looks too much like Bang Dream for me to be comfortable with it.
Like a good Bang Dream on Deathloop.
Yeah, whoever named that has a lawsuit coming.
Well, it's Banji Dream. You could not get that game.
You can dress it up all you want, Rick.
You cannot get that game, and you could get Metallic Child, also coming out on the 16th, for PC and Switch. Or you could get Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. I think that's like the Alien one, and it looks really stupid.
Oh,
sorry,
Isn't
Tom Clancy.
Rainbow Six like one of your favorite genres?
It was back in the day when Rainbow Six actually meant tactical.
Oh.
And now it's just like, woo, shoot 'em up.
Okay.
There was a point where like you didn't see anything, just a reticule on the screen, and it was very tactical and it was great. On September the 7th, you can get Origami 2 for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox, along with Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom - Prince's Edition for the Switch. On the 21st of September, you can get Kina, Bridge of Spirits on the PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. The 23rd, Diablo 2, Resurrected, PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, and the Switch. Along with, on the 23rd, you can get Sable for PC, Xbox Series X. And moving on to the 24th of September, you get Death Stranding Director's Cut on the PlayStation 5, and Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot. No, Kakarot. Doctor, I got a bad case of Kakarot. That comes out on the Switch. Lost Judgment comes out.
Kakarot is something that you get with the Revenant or the Resurrected.
Woo! Lost Judgment, which is clearly where we are, comes out on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and Xbox for the 24th. On 28th of September, you get Ghost Runner for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Lemnis Gate for for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox, not Xbox 5, Xbox and PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
Xbox
Xbox
5.
Five.
There's just
And
too
the
many.
Xbox 5 and the PSX,
I can't wait till like the transition years are gone.
PSX One X.
Yes, although Xbox will have 4 different versions. 28th of September also sees Outer Wilds: Echoes of the Eye, which is DLC? Or is that the second
Probably.
one? That can't be Outer Wilds.
It's got to
2.
be DLC.
It's got to be DLC. PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox. Did you even Vendor? I don't think you played Outer World. Oh,
Outer
I'm
Wilds?
getting it
played
confused
Outer
with Outer
Wilds.
Worlds. Okay.
Outer
Did you
Wilds
like it?
is great. Yeah, the art style is incredible.
Okay.
And the stories in the game and the people that you meet is just so endearing. I love it. It's
I
wonderful.
constantly.
There's a
I
museum, and you go on a
what?
museum tour. It's amazing.
I constantly get the Outer Worlds and Outer Wilds confused. So I thought it was.
Yeah.
On the 30th of September, you get Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. Apparently on the notes it says Xbox Switch, but we know those are 2 different consoles. Astria Ascending on the PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox, and the Switch as well. Everything else is coming out on September 30th as well. You get Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Cool.
I'm surprised that's still a thing. Do you guys remember the Hot Wheels PC from like the early 90s? The blue
No,
one with the
'cause
flames?
I was
What?
Too,
There was a Hot Wheels PC?
Yeah, it was a Hot Wheels branded PC, and it was like so unique because it wasn't beige or hearing aid color, and it was like blue with yellow flames. Oh, it was awesome.
That sounds so fun.
I couldn't
I
afford
was
it.
too busy playing with actual Hot Wheels.
Same.
Well, we all were, but
I would play
you know.
with the Hot Wheels in my dad's truck, and they would fall down the vent in the front. So all of our little cars would get lost in the vent in front of Dad's truck. And then once in a while, something would break in there, and he'd have to take off the panel and go in and work on it. And he'd just pull out handfuls of Hot Wheels cars, and it was like getting a bunch of new Hot Wheels.
That was
That's
that was the thing about losing toys as a kid is when you found them, you're like, whoa, it's like new. Yeah. So Hot Wheels Unleashed for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox, PlayStation 5, and the Switch, along with Legend of Heroes: Kuro no Kiseki on PlayStation 4, and Life is Strange: Remastered Collection, PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5,
I think
Xbox,
they
and the Switch.
delayed that. The Life
Did
is
they?
Strange Remastered Collection got delayed into
Oh.
2022.
Okay, well, that's not coming out then. And then, oh god,
Wait, what?
Melty Blood: Type
No.
Lumina. Yeah. Melty Blood:
That's the best one yet.
It is. That is going to be my new band name, Melty Blood:
Hey, can we change the title of the show to Melty Blood:
I will when I
I
post it. I'm going to type it out though.
I have to see what is this?
I don't even know. Melty Blood:
Melty.
Type Lumina, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox.
Okay,
and the
whoever named
Switch.
that listens to the show. Whoever named that has to listen, or they're just incredibly intuitive.
That's what you get
Okay.
when you get too much Kakarot.
Melty Blood Type Lumina. Let's have a look at this.
Oh my lord.
2D fighting game.
Of course it is.
It's like anime style.
Oh really? I would assumed it would have been like 80s like action.
Yeah, it's like an anime style 2D fighting game. Okay, I'm just looking at the trailer here. Skip forward a little.
While you're doing that, I'm going to pull up the games with gold for the Xbox. Let's see here. With the Xbox Series X and S, you have the chance to get Warhammer: Chaos Bane, available September 1st to the 30th, and Mulaka, available September 16th through October 15th. And then Zone of Enders.
Bumblebee tuna. Sorry.
And Zone of Enders HD Collection, available from September 1st to
You
the
can
15th.
play as a nun in Melty Blood
Oh my gosh.
or a schoolgirl.
Of course you can. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Melty Blood: and I play as a
Or
schoolgirl.
a maid with a frying pan. She's described as a deeply affectionate maid, and she has a frying pan and a broom. This is incredible.
Every once in a while, there are things that come out that support just knee-jerk reaction stereotypes. And schoolgirls with nuns and maids with melty blood colon. It's just like, yeah, this is
Don't
too
worry.
on the nose.
Don't worry, Activision. Your lawsuit's going to fall by the wayside this September because there's a whole other schwackload of game developers.
I really hope, though, whenever you have a game that has melee weapons like a frying pan or aluminum bats, they have to get that sound perfect to get that feeling of
Yes,
thwong,
PUBG did the bullet in the pan quite well.
Oh, I know. Shalene shot it a lot.
Yeah.
One
Also-
time.
It was like more than once.
It was one time.
One time with a bullet, but like a dozen
You
with an
shot
arrow.
me in the face. You shot me in the face with a shotgun.
Once. Shall we? You really want to do the friendly fire tally right now?
Hey,
Is this
you want to
something
go
that you
back
wanna
through our
do?
Left for Dead? Through our
Oh
Left
yeah,
for Dead
I was
friendly
really
fire
bad
tallies?
about that.
Yeah, we'll be back right after these messages.
Oh, I'm too silly.
It's
I'm
still-
too silly today. I can't.
It still doesn't beat. It still doesn't beat the time when I was playing Hunt with my buddy. It's like I'm throwing dynamite, and I hear this thunk. I'm like, what? Right between my legs, he threw it.
Oh, gracious.
Anyway, also in Games with Gold, you get Samurai Showdown 2, available September 16th through the 30th. So there you go. PlayStation free games. We're still not done yet. Don't worry, we'll get in the news. Oh, what games will be free on PlayStation Plus in September? Fist,
Okay.
Forged in Shadow Torch, as well as Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and Godfall and World War Z or Uncharted Lost Legacy. I don't know what that's about.
Uncharted Lost Legacy is really good.
So yeah, there. Oh, is that the one with the 2 chicks?
Mhm.
Okay, I haven't played that.
It's quite good. I recommend.
I heard
It's
it was
like
good.
it's not super long, and it's a really good story.
Yeah. So
just want to quickly check my audio. Is it better now? Better? Good? Let us know. I want to make sure
Okay.
it's good for our listeners afterwards. Thank you, Vaccinator.
okay. So yeah, that's it for the games coming out in September. I'm looking forward to seeing what Deathloop does. I like the aesthetic, but I don't know if that's something that's going to take my interest. Chernobyl Light, I'm going to check out. I didn't realize that was on Switch, on Steam already.
Oh.
So,
yeah, it's on Steam already. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's it for me.
Great. Well, let's roll into our regular scheduled program with some video game news, unlike the long list of games that we just went through for September. Hopefully you guys pick some of those up. If you do, send us an email and tell us about the games that you played and what your impressions were. We'll share it on the show. info@wejustlovegames.com. In other news, this article written in Gizmodo by Brianna Provenzano asks, when you think of the online video game Fortnite, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Silly
Terrible dances.
Well, okay, I guess. I was thinking the late civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr., but, I mean, you guys were way off.
Next, we're gonna get a Malcolm X box.
A new virtual in-game exhibit will pay tribute to the slain leader by exposing players to his speeches and crusade for justice. Fortnite's parent company says Epic Studios announced this on Thursday. As you know, Fortnite is a battle royale style violence video game, and they've featured other promotional appearances by artists like Travis Scott, Ariana Grande, but now they are paving the way with Nobel Peace Prize recipient Martin Luther King Jr. Martha.
Martha, get in the kitchen.
It's over further, Martha.
Now-
more there further.
Now,
This is cool though. It's like a museum
Is it?
exhibit.
is
Yeah,
it
it is
though?
cool. It is cool. Children will see this.
But see-
Impressionable children will see this.
Would
It's not like they have MLK doing the Fortnite.
The new
He's in a
exhibit,
museum.
according to Epic, the new exhibit, which was created as part of a partnership with Time Studios, depicts a teleportation of players to DC 63 and a reimagined Washington, D.C., where they will be able to visit the Lincoln Memorial and the National Mall to hear Martin Luther King deliver his infamous 17-minute speech calling for civil rights, which brings a
Like
little
the
bit
I have a dream
chills.
speech. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
It's not so much that I think it's a bad idea. It is the underlying factor of the fact that this is now in a game to bring it to kids' attention.
It's definitely going to polarize.
Not being in the education. No,
It's
is this a result of the educational system failing the children of not presenting this in school?
Well, yeah.
I mean, do you learn about it in school?
I went to a Christian school, so no.
I don't remember learning about Martin Luther King Jr.
I mean, I learned about conversion therapy, so,
Yeah.
but
but yeah, it's just a weird. I don't think it's a problem in the game. It's just a weird mix to throw it into Fortnite.
Well, Docker in the chat brings up a good point. Game and politics is not a good thing, but politics.
Civil rights is not politics.
Games are not devoid of politics. First of all, second of all, I think that this is an educational innovation. I love opportunities where developers use their game design to educate the public about very important moments in human history. And I think that we should never shy away from that.
I agree, but the fact that they're shoving it into Fortnite, it's like McDonald's presenting you with the incredibly healthy option. It's like almost virtue signaling in a way where it's like, really?
Like the apple slices in the Happy Meal?
Yeah, it's almost like a little. Fortnite's the only thing I question. I don't question the motive of putting this replicated thing into. In fact, Minecraft is known for doing this with that library of uncensored materials.
Yep.
Doc Raw in chat says that Fortnite is doing this for money, and that's sad. It's not from the heart.
Yes.
That's what it feels like.
I understand where you're coming from there, Doc Raw. I understand. And I'm not going to say that you're wrong, because you're probably not wrong. But I think regardless of their motivations, more people listening to this piece of history and seeing some of this history is a good thing.
Yeah,
that's unequivocally a positive thing.
And I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it. I'm just like, I wish things like this would be presented in a more interesting format. But then again, a more interesting or appropriate format wouldn't be as popular as as Fortnite. So it's kind of like you're going to get good with bad and bad with good. So, but either way, it's a strange thing to see this.
I don't. So the thing about bringing educational and historical pieces about human history into video games like that, I do think that that's important, but context matters. Fortnite, maybe not the best venue for something like this.
Well, it is a separate thing, though. It's not like in the middle of your battle royale match.
Right. Right.
It's an Easter egg.
But I think that context does matter. And that there's opportunities for things like this, but putting Martin Luther King into the same category as Ariana Grande and Travis Scott is a little bit disingenuous and disrespectful.
I'm gonna have to agree to disagree with you here.
Yeah, I can see both sides. As a knee-jerk reaction, it's easy to make fun of this in the way that it's easy to make fun of like Snooki. But at the same time, if you wanted to give this information to kids in the easiest, most deliverable platform where they're all going to be, that would be Fortnite. And as counterintuitive as it is, that delivery platform does make a lot of logical sense, as weird as it is.
So my question would be, what would be another platform in which you would like to see this or something similar?
School.
Hey. Well, I mean, you mean like Bully? Or like actual school,
like school.
Oh, okay.
Like our educational
Sorry,
systems.
yes.
It would be nice if I would love to see something like this presented on a VR platform.
Yeah, where it is that in and of
cool.
itself.
Yeah.
And there's lots of that on VR, right? Like you can tour whole museums. The Ashmolean in Oxford is entirely available in VR. That's because it's like the size of 6 football fields, and I did the whole thing in a day. But that's beside the point. VR is an absolutely perfect venue for something like this.
It would be really neat to visit historical moments.
Yeah, like I visited the pyramids in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which was really cool because it's to scale. So, I think things like this are really cool.
And it's important to remember that, and again, Dakra does bring up good intent, bring up good points. The fact that they may not be doing this for the best reasons, but things done for the worst reasons sometimes have positive outcomes. That if they are doing this for money, that or whatever, even if it is kind of like, look at us, we're doing good. It is, if you affect like maybe even 15% of those kids in a positive light, that's 15% more kids that didn't have that message. You know what I mean?
One or two. If a couple of children learn important things that they wouldn't have otherwise, that's a net positive.
It is a net positive. So, and if anything, like it's one of those things you can just opt out and not check out. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
weird. It's certainly weird.
Well, I mean it's an acceptation of the use of technology, right? They're not just innovating; they're bringing something totally, completely left field into an area where you would never expect to see something like that. So there's in a way they're setting an example for the rest of the industry. I wouldn't be surprised if we see other similar things like this.
We also have to remember that the older that we get, the more we're not going to understand, or the more we're going to be resistant to change, or things that should not be.
I'm not resistant to change.
You don't agree with this decision?
No, I'm being resistant to change in saying that I'm not resistant to change.
but I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about how like when Paris Hilton got famous, or when Snooki got famous, that everyone just kept crapping on him and poo-pooing on him, and how easy that was. But if you think about it, like, it doesn't really make sense. You're just kind of jumping on an easy bandwagon. And I feel like this is kind of in that same vein. Like, we may not get it. It's not even for us. Like, you listen to new music, it's not meant for us. That's why we don't like it for the most part. Like, this isn't, none of the three of us play Fortnite. This is not meant for us.
I still maintain that Martin Luther King is of a different caliber than other famous people that have been on Fortnite. But that's
of course. But as much as I don't like the platform it's going out on, I cannot disagree with it. It may be the best way to readily access hundreds of thousands of millions of kids who may not have heard this.
Yep.
So
I think that video games have I think that there's an opportunity there for educational purposes across all video games.
Sure.
And I think that we miss out on a lot of that. And it's not regulated, so you could literally just put a lot of stuff.
This may enable some children to play video games at school this year. And I'm for that.
That's true. I did learn a lot about World War II from like Medal of Honor and Call of Duty. Like, it really did. It's kind of funny when the games put that in. And even like maybe not Hideo Kojima for accuracy, but I always loved how he interwove historical situations in his Metal Gear games, like conspiracies that were in real life. Like the Cuban Missile Crisis was part of like Metal Gear Solid 3, and I always loved how that was kind of like a nice little cover up. So
yeah. Now the idea to include this content in Fortnite has been met with a little bit of criticism in terms of, you know, bringing a figure into a video game that sort of propagates battle scenarios. And this is a figure who tries to broker peace, right? So I think that's what has a lot of critics really scratching their heads. But the rap in a statement said, with the advent of emerging technology, we seek to use all resources available to continue to spread his wonderful legacy of hope, peace, and love and equality. Presenting his most famous speech in such an interactive format helps us achieve that goal. And I think that's the nail on the head right there.
It is strange that they put it in a game where the object is to kill everybody.
It's a little unusual. But some would argue that is the perfect venue. Right? Because
that's your target audience.
If Fortnite is the only game that this demographic plays, are we breeding a whole generation of kids that just want to fight each other?
Yeah, these are the people who need to be learning empathy. So
yeah.
I can see it now. Some kid kills somebody and runs up to go teabag him, and his teammate runs up and his hand on his shoulder like,
I want to go to the MLK
museum. Man. Remember what he said?
Yeah.
Love. man. Love. Don't teabag him.
I worry that
God.
people are gonna learn about that, but then it's gonna become an enculturated part of Fortnite. And people are gonna make spoofs and jokes about that speech
course
as
they
part
are.
of Fortnite. Like, do you have a dream? Or something
You've
like
gotta-
that, you know?
You've got to spoof it. But the only thing that I'm really concerned about is like him becoming a hidden character. That's just
No,
really bad.
that would be really unacceptable.
They couldn't do
That
that.
would be inappropriate. It's like, anyways, Bethesda is also doing some weird things. They have dropped 3 brief teasers for Starfield, each focusing on one of the unique locations in its game world. Now, do you guys want to watch these videos or?
Of course, I want to watch these videos.
Okay. Let me
But
just.
what about okay?
It's the listeners
What
can
a-
hear the
what a-
videos.
Yeah, it's good.
No, that's fine.
I need to watch
referring
the
to.
videos, Rick.
I'm just thinking of our previous conversations. The title of the. That's fine.
Oh, I need to watch the
I
videos.
didn't want you to get distracted.
This first teaser looks at New Atlantis, the capital city port of the United Colonies, and the game's
Already, I'm
most
on board.
powerful military and political faction. New Atlantis is home to many different races and ethnicities and stands as an example of what the future of our world will look like. Let's take a look.
Behold Aquila City, the capital of the Freestar Collective, a loose confederation of 3 distinct star systems. The city itself is home to a variety of people, but they all have one thing in common. They believe in the sanctity of personal freedom and individuality. Aquila City is walled for a reason, and stepping outside those walls means facing the deadly Ashta, alien predators that are a cross between a wolf and a velociraptor.
I'm a little hurt that it's just concept art.
Well, there's
I love concept art, but I want gameplay footage.
is it difficult for you guys to see? Let me make it a little bit.
No, it's
bigger.
good. But Shalene, I'm gonna counter that with. Do you remember what happened with Cyberpunk? And all like, here's the gameplay footage, and let's get all our expectations all really high. And this, they're like, we're not gonna set any expectations other than this is a new IP, and then when we get it, it's just gonna be all up.
It's classic Bethesda. Now, this next video centers on Aquila, another capital city, which is capital of Freestar Collective, which encompasses 3 star systems. The city is protected by high walls, which keep alien monsters known as the Ashta, a cross between a wolf and a velociraptor, away from its people. And the people of Aquila believe in the sanctity of personal freedom and individuality.
Didn't we just watch that one?
Yes. I think we switched the
Oh.
videos with the descriptions.
Oh, let me read the new descriptor. So with this new video, there's Neon, a pleasure port built on a giant fishing platform on an aquatic world. Though the initial intention was for Neon to be the center of a fishing industry, the corporation that built it in the end ended up discovering one fish with psychotropic properties, so they pivoted to making
Of course
drugs.
they did.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
You
So you
licking
can
the
get
toad.
high on fish.
A lot of people go get high and watch fish.
What you're looking at here is the pleasure city of Neon. The Xenofresh Corporation built a giant fishing platform on a rather nondescript aquatic world. They wanted to catch fish until they discovered a fish with psychotropic properties. They could make way more money selling a drug than they could fish. That drug is Aurora and is legal only on Neon. People come from all over to experience it and everything else Neon has to offer.
I'm so
That's like-
excited for this.
That is like exactly how I like to live in every video game.
I can't wait.
Right?
This is gonna be fun.
And then the last video, which I had talked about, which I think it was the first one that we actually didn't end up watching, was
Yeah,
about,
we didn't watch the new Atlantis.
was about New Atlantis. So let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Emil Pagliarulo, Design Director of Bethesda Game Studios. What you're looking at here is the spaceport of the city of New Atlantis, the capital city of the United Colonies, or UC, the most powerful, established military and political faction in the game. The city is a true melting pot, and its residents come from every race, creed, and ethnicity. In a lot of ways, New Atlantis is a true reflection of the future of our world.
Very short
Now that-
clips, very good teasers. I got pretty excited watching those.
Now, if the ships look like they do in that last concept piece, that kind of like cross between an airplane and a starship, oh my gosh, I'm excited for this. Like this is pushing on buttons, because the thing with No Man's Sky that I do love about it, but also kind of is overwhelming, is the vast infiniteness of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it sometimes can get just too much. And I think having something a little more contained in a galaxy or whatever, I think is going to be more up my alley. But I just want to be.
I'm pretty
space
excited.
cowboy.
I think Starfield is.
Your face.
Yeah.
Eileen.
Wow.
You have no interest in this whatsoever.
I'm
Um,
I'm so disgusted
Why?
because I still don't know what Starfield is. This is like the 6th trailer I've watched. I have no idea what this game is.
And they've been building it for like 5 years.
So this is the opposite of Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk like 10 years ago is like, check the new game out. They're like, these guys are doing the difference where it's like they've been developing it for 10 years, but they're only giving us concept art. I don't know. I feel like it's in this day and age of like, Shalene, haven't we had conversations about game companies saying, here's a new game that's coming out in like 10 years, like Elder Scrolls 6 teaser.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But this is too far in the other direction for you.
Yeah. Show me the game when it's ready. Give me like 3 months to get hyped about it. Give me the game. But I don't even know what this game is. How am I supposed to get hyped about it? I don't even know what it is. It could be anything.
I don't know what to say about
Damn.
that. Yeah.
No idea what it is.
Speaking of
I know, but
speaking of mental
I'm
health,
excited.
this next article comes to us about Psychonauts 2 from the Washington Post. And it's written by Shannon Liao. Thank you, Shannon, for putting this together for us. Psychonauts 2 released on August 25th. It's available on PC, PlayStation 4, Mac OS, Linux, and Xbox. Developed by Double Fine and published by Xbox Game Studios. And I watched Never Again Ken, who's an avid streamer on Twitch, play this week, and it is a fantastic looking game. The art style is incredible. It's all about mental health, and it's all about being inside your character's mind and trying to traverse those memories and traumas. And there's boss fights and level ups and different things that you have to collect and puzzles that you have to do. At one point, you're part of a game show, which is really cute. The characters in this game are adorable. They're super cartoony. Their faces are like all weird shaped with giant hair, and it's really endearing. The game's core concept is that each person's brain is a platformer level to jump through, and you explore these dreamlike sequences. So, for example, in one brain that is being overwhelmed by sensory overload, players explore a 1970s-inspired psychedelic trip, scrambling over giant noses and outstretched tongues and things like that. Much like the original, players also follow Rasputin, or Raz Aquato, as he uses familiar psychic powers and some different skills to make his way through the intern program with the Psychonauts, which is a group of international secret agents. So Raz is still a kid, and events like this for him are pretty interesting, so you kind of progress through his character as he moves through the game. The original game, Psychonauts itself, and its sequel, Psychonauts 2, has very compelling stories, I think personally, having watched Psychonauts 2, and a lot of really, really surreal elements to it. So if you're interested in that sort of psychological type puzzle game, that's something that you might be interested in. So yeah. Have you guys played Psychonauts? Either of you played the original or
No.
this one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. The art style is really neat. At one point, you're in like this universe where it's like you're at the dentist, and there's all these giant surgical tools that you have to like swing across, and then you're like walking on someone's tongue and like jumping across their teeth, and yeah, it's really cool. The focus is it's about a 10 to 15 hour long game, so it really isn't that long. You can finish it quite quickly, but there is a story mode. there is a lot of characters to learn about, and you do have an option to turn off certain things like damage from falling and attacks changing your combat and things like that. So, yeah, I think that this is a good recommendation. The other thing that I do want to mention is that the game dives into something a little bit deeper in terms of politics. It actually portrays an Eastern European monarch, a Grulovian like Raz and his family, who snobbishly look down on the peasants of his land. But when Raz enters the monarch's mind, he sees a different version of the story, and the game's been telling. So, and this is one where the Psychonauts are the villains. That they've been ruining the fictional land of Grulovia. And, up until that point, he's been playing from a totally different perspective. And as we know in the real world, perspective is power, right? So it really kind of brings into perspective that whole idea about seeing things from different sides and stuff like that. So, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I thought this was a cool game, and I wanted to share it because it's easily a contender for Game of the Year, as speculated in this article. So it's had really good reviews in its first week after launch, and a lot of people are really enjoying it. Yeah. I did want to share a weird article with you guys. So this article from Entrepreneur, written by Luis Vidrio, talks about essential skills that you need to have to start a career in video game industry. Now, what essential skills do you think that you guys need?
Programming.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. Also, from what I've read, you need to have shipped at least one AAA title.
Okay.
And had 3 to 5 years of experience.
Anything else?
Programming.
We got that. So programming and AAA publishable AAA content. In this article, he talks about, first of all, video game knowledge. So having a basic knowledge of video games is absolutely required for the job. I think that's pretty much a given. If you are particularly interested in developing visual novel games, you'll generally find that you have to have more information available on computers and mobile devices rather than consoles, and vice versa. So that's one of the arguments that he makes. The other one is computer programming. A general knowledge of programming is extremely important. Being able to code, and if you're part of the development team, you're going to be regularly interacting with programming and reviewing scripts and things like that. So you definitely have to know that. Teamwork, very important thing. And obviously these games don't just get thrown together by a single person. It takes a lot of people and a lot of teams, especially at companies as big as Microsoft and Bethesda. It's whole departments working on a single part, a single element of a video game, right? And then, of course, scripting. Storytelling is a huge part of video games. And so this was another thing that Lewis had brought up in this article, talking about how you can get into a whole career about writing the story of video games, which I think is really cool. But I thought maybe we could just have sort of an open discussion about what you guys think goes into making a great video game, and what makes a video game dev team great based on everything we've reported in like the last 6 years and everything we've experienced playing together and playing with communities. What are your thoughts?
I think it's really important to have people who want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
People who love what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I think with a lot of what we've seen politically, I think that incorporating equity, diversity, and inclusion into work environments is really important, regardless of whether or not it's video game development. But understanding that when you go into the job is a huge asset.
One of the things that I've noticed from looking at different jobs in the industry and things like that, they having some sort of personal motivation in developing your own system or tool or game is a huge benefit. I'm sure maybe you two have seen the article about one of the lead developers on the London Fallout mod was hired by Bethesda because of their work on the mod before it even came out. And a lot of these a lot of these companies require some knowledge of the tools. And for instance, like I think WYs or Fmod and even Unreal, not Unreal. What's that? And what's the Unity? There's so many tutorials just getting you started, getting you familiar with these tools that you can kind of go in and play with your own stuff. And it just requires motivation to do the work, which is the hard part and the non-glamorous part, interestingly enough. So that's a huge thing that a lot of these different listings have for when they're hiring. Plus, they want to see, again, the passion of people who want to be there. And the people that want to be there are usually the ones who are on their own developing things, regardless of doing it for a company or themselves or anyone.
Big businesses love autonomy.
They do.
They love people that
they don't
can
want to
come,
micromanage you.
They love people that come in and can do their job without having to rely on others and can do it well. And if you have shown proof of concept and the ability to work independently even before that time, that's a huge asset in any industry. So that's, I think the reason that why I bring this article up and I wanted to talk about it, because it misses out on a lot of very key points that I don't think it even really touches on a lot of what is expected in the industry.
Yeah. By the way, I think something that's important for everyone is failure. You have to be good at failing in the sense that you have to be able to handle the failure. Because you're going to fail all the time. I mean, that was my problem.
Well, maybe you are.
Honestly, like the last three, I'm sure if anyone's left over from the show that shall not be named and that whole era, I went through audio school and then did freelance audio work. And honestly, the reason that I don't do that anymore is because I was very much afraid of failing. And it's not easy to deal with that. And in the game world, I think that's something you constantly need to be okay with. Like, Adam Savage from the Mythbusters, failure is always an option.
Failure is the first option.
It is
for those who have become successful. And like when I attended orientation for grad school, the first thing that they said to you, or they say to you, is, "Are you prepared to fail?" And everybody kind of just looks at each other and they're like, "Because you're gonna fail, but that's part of the process, and you have to be okay with it." But the other thing is that you have to be willing to expect and be able to receive criticism. And I think that this applies to the video game industry as well, because you have an entire world of people criticizing your video games on every possible platform and forum that you can imagine. And so as developers, it's probably really difficult to sift through the noise and pick out those pearls of wisdom that really help make video games better. Bethesda has done actually a really good job in listening to the community. Despite the setbacks with their games and things like that, they've really listened to the community. And they've made changes in their game based on what the community wants. And I think that's an important part of it too.
Any good developer does that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking at you, guys.
So I thought we could have kind of a... Shalene, do you have any final thoughts on this?
I really don't. I just think it's very important that people start thinking about the team as a whole instead of individual talent, and make sure that they are not only focused on individual talent, but also on how those people are going to mesh together.
Yeah. Honestly, a good example of the opposite of that is, I would say, Cyberpunk. Yeah. Because clearly that had multiple different divisions working on multiple aspects of that game that they kind of smushed them together and they didn't quite fit.
So as part of my research, I'm basing the majority of my research on a theory called complex adaptive systems. And the theory of complex adaptive systems is understanding how the system works so that we can act from within it. And I think Cyberpunk is a perfect example of people that didn't understand what was going on in the bigger picture. And it became a train wreck. And so, yeah, Shalene's absolutely right. We got to work together, but we have to understand what everybody else is doing so that what we're doing can jive together with the team. And you can work synchronously, like a orchestra.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to get into a career in video game development, we are now offering up our career counseling services for the video game industry. Todd Howard, I know you've been on our waiting list.
Wait, I'm getting a call. Hello, how can I help?
Shh.
We just love Games Institute here.
I can
Is
tell
that
you
Pete?
exactly
Put Pete on the phone.
I can tell you exactly how not to get into the gaming industry.
Don't do podcasts.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've wondered if that's like deterred some of the applications I've put in with
They're like,
Bethesda.
oh, this is that guy from the
'Cause-
show.
They're
'Cause
like,
there's
you
been
know, this
some where
guy
I'm
did
like-
it. He
They almost certainly don't know who we are.
you know, he
Really?
did an episode with no
cool.
shirt on and ate fried chicken, right?
I forgot about that. But yeah, there's been some jobs where I put out and I'm like, I should have at least got a callback on that.
Mm.
Mhm.
Gamestack University. I love it.
DSU.
My follow-up article to this career article in video games is this really endearing article from Smithsonian Magazine written by Lila Thulin. And she's writing about, and I'm probably going to mispronounce
Good luck.
her last name, Rasha Al-Khatani, who is an 18-year-old from Saudi Arabia and has taken it upon herself to develop her own video game. She's determined to help her peers to learn about anxiety, and she's doing this in the very popular setting of Minecraft. So last year, Rasha had finals coming up and 35 different Zoom calls booked. And to manage her busy schedule, she had lots of different calendars, one in Google Calendar, the other was printed, the other was placed on her laptop, and just in case that there was a power outage, she would still be able to keep track of what was going on. And so she has laser-like focus on a lot of different passion projects. And creating video game tools help diagnose teenagers with general anxiety disorder was one of those projects. And so she put together a proposal inspired in part by her personal experiences with the stressors of the pandemic. And she won a behavioral science award in this year's Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair. And this is an annual competition that has gone on for several years now for 9th through 12th graders, administered by the Society for Science in Washington, D.C., and her prototype aims to address the problems of stigma and inaccessibility that psychologists say presented substantial roadblocks to teens getting mental health care. She began researching her prize-winning project last year as a participant in Mahiba, an international STEM program for gifted and talented students in Saudi Arabia. And she did basically everything over Zoom. She recounts that she wanted to work towards something that would genuinely help people in her generation. And she's seen anxiety affect the lives of a lot of people around her, family members, a genius schoolmate. She recounts that who would cry and hyperventilate with each test, strangers in TikTok confessions, etc. And so she also admits to struggling herself as a straight A student trying to achieve perfection. And there's a fruit fly just like... Got him. Sorry, fruit fly.
I've been dealing with fruit flies all week.
I've
work.
declared
Oh my gosh.
World War III in my house on the fruit flies. That's part of next week's show. Anyways, she wanted to do something about her anxiety. And so instead of taking the immediate step to go see a psychologist, she wanted to kind of take on this project. And so a lot of the things that she looked at were things like how anxiety is treated, recommendations by the World Health Organization and the Child Mind Institute. Yeah. And the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, has only created more issues for people with mental health concerns, especially those among adolescents across the world. In the U.S., for instance, the number of teen mental health insurance claims filed in March and April alone was twice that of the previous year. And so she believes that getting a diagnosis is a crucial step for mental health. And she says, acknowledging that, oh, I have this thing, I'm going to accept having this thing, now I will work on it. It's not going to be something that will hold me back. She also loves playing Minecraft, and she said, I would just tear up to live in Minecraft for a day. I really love it. And so the pandemic has really sort of helped her develop this research project that looks at evaluating players for general anxiety disorder, GAD. And the first draft of her test, she put the first draft of her test together, and this involved building a full-blown game from scratch. She calls a module that users would access within pre-existing video games a feature, and the purposes of this prototype is to look at the actual code that the feature has instead of producing a video simulation of what that would look like within Minecraft. And so she drew on a lot of her hobbies, playing Minecraft and making short films and things like that, and created a video that looked like a Minecraft story mode in which players would choose their own adventures by indicating how they'd like to respond to various scenarios, which is built upon the GAD tool, the Generalized Anxiety Disorders tool, which is used to diagnose GAD. And so instead of deciding on which character to save from some enemy, or users would choose how they react differently, potentially anxiety-provoking scenarios. In one instance, she says, a friend said, don't bring your pet, a pig that's a character in original Minecraft story mode, to the party. People will call us losers. And so the player selects one of the two options. I'm not worried about them. We will have fun. Or, oh, that will be so embarrassing and terrifying. I'm leaving my pet and I'm afraid he will hurt himself. So in scoring that assessment, the option would be to assign a value of a point to that based on the player's choice. And so I think this is a really cool example of how we can incorporate different tools and educational things for research into video games. And I definitely want to acknowledge her hard-earned efforts. I think she's definitely paving the way for young video game developers. Mm-hmm. Anyways,
It's really neat
good.
story. That's really neat.
That's the story. We do have some game stock to talk about. Shalene, do you want to take us through that?
I do.
What's going on in the world of the stock market, Shalene?
Things are looking pretty positive this week. Sony is up $1.60 to $103.25. Microsoft is up 63 cents, closing at $299.72. Nintendo is down just a smidge, 33 cents, closing at $58.95. Take-Two is up $1.15 to $160.03. And Activision, surprisingly, is up $1.18 at $82.43. I feel like all of this has not affected the stock prices of Activision too much.
Very odd.
Ubisoft is up 40 cents, closing at $53.74. EA is up $1.47, closing at $142.94. And Tencent is down $1 at $58.96.
Okay.
Nice. I wonder if we're going to start seeing Bitcoin come into video games.
Huh? Oh, like to make purchases?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. I'm surprised that, well, it's already kind of there anyway. I mean, any game that's like spend money to buy this digital currency, to buy the in-game things, I mean, that's already the same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just no ROI because you can't get your money back out.
Mm-hmm. How's your
Zero
Nintendo
difference.
stock doing, Shalene?
Well, it's up $1.60. No, down 33 cents. Down 33 cents. I was wrong. Let me
Womp.
go look at it and see what the
You've
portfolio
lost a third
looks
over the
like.
week.
Well, yeah, I...
Oh no, it logged me out.
Oh. Well, we do have an additional new segment tonight. We did add the screenshots and stories channel to the Discord, if you recall, and that is a channel where people can post their screenshots and share stories about the video games that they're playing. So let's hop right into that tonight on what you're playing.
That is so cute. I love it.
We're going to hear from our family in the Discord community about the games that they're playing. And the first game, or the first post, comes from Cooney. Cooney posted this from Wasteland 3 with the caption, "Ain't that a kick in the head?" And it is a picture of a bunch of dead bodies with missing heads in a room. And
sucked at that game.
Yeah, and he's looking at a book that says, "Don't talk to strangers so you don't marry your cousin."
It's pretty solid advice.
And it is a self-help book that you can pick up for $10 for introverts about being more social, written by a concerned mother. Yeah. This next picture is so cute and endearing. I wanted to share it with you guys. This is from Deus Mortem. And he posted this saying that him and his bros are playing Minecraft, having a Minecraft wedding because his friend Jack really likes the Axolts in the new 1.17 update. And he makes note of the suits. You notice they're all wearing
adorable.
like tuxedos or like some sort of tie or dress. It's really nice.
It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Very
RTZ posted a couple of photos for us. This is from Transport Fever 2, and he said that this game sucked him right in. He was hooked. He really loves transport games. They are his guilty pleasure. So he posted this one, which is some sort of steamboat. Not sure what maybe he's bootlegging or something.
That'd be fun.
Swimming Whiskey, it says. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the name of the boat. That would be beautiful name for a boat.
Can someone make like a 1920s bootlegging Mafia game? Because like Mafia like touched on bootlegging, but not a lot. It was like one mission was bootlegging. I really just want to bootleg booze. Like that's all I want to do.
I told you my great grandfather was a bootlegger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He smuggled booze into Chicago over the
okay.
Canadian border.
My family shot my family. That was a thing.
I mean, that's like most American families, though, right?
I guess. I don't know.
I do have one more story. I have a story. It's not a screenshot. It's a story from Frankel's Konina.
Okay.
And she says, "I finished Roki, alas, missing 5 badges, but never mind. And it was a really beautiful game, so sad in places, but ultimately about growth and family. I love the puzzles and exploration very much. I'm finding that I need these types of games at the moment. I need the calm, pace, problem solving, and that sort of art style. It's very soothing to me, and I think we all need this at the moment. CW, though, it becomes very sad in places as it is about a family dealing with the loss of their mother. I can heartily recommend it. The puzzles were not super hard, but had some challenges, and I really enjoyed a lot of the concepts around how to solve them. It gave her flavors of Never Alone, which is a superb and utterly beautiful platformer. So thanks for sharing that.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that she loved Roki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, what about we're playing? What are you playing? What are you playing, Rick? Take it away.
Well, I was on vacation the last week, and yes, I went to a beautiful little island off the coast of South Carolina called Tefusky. If anyone is interested in getting to a place,
Wait, Bloodfart is in the chat.
yes, Bloedvaart. Yeah,
Just
your
quickly
screen
acknowledge
name
that we need to.
gave us like we were trying to figure out 15 ways to Sunday to not actually say it the way that it was said.
Well, we made one of our guests on the show say it.
We
Oh,
did. We made Sherry say it.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there for that, I guess.
In an Australian
I
accent.
did
It
watch
was
that.
beautiful.
I did watch
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's right. I did watch that.
And we all giggled.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
continue.
So yeah, go to this little island off the coast of South Carolina called Tefusky. It's very interesting, especially if you're into history and doing nothing, because all there is beach, alcohol, and beaches.
Perfect.
That's all you can do. What was really interesting, a lot of it was abandoned. So there was like really cool abandoned mansions and stuff. But while I was there, we took the Switch and I was like, man, what game do I want to play on the Switch? And it was a tie up between The Witcher 3 and Skyrim. So I was like, Todd needs some money. He's kind of broke. So I bought Skyrim. And
How many times have you bought Skyrim?
4.
Amateur.
I know.
Those are
Well,
rookie numbers.
it's because
You gotta pump up those numbers.
I see through the bull. Switch, the standard version for the PC, the special edition for the PC, and one for the 360. So there you go. So anyway, you're right. The Switch port is actually a lot of fun once you turn off the motion controls.
Oh, you were using motion controls?
I didn't realize you could turn them off.
Oh, ouch.
You're so old.
Oh, terrible. Yes, I am. old.
You're so old.
Just looking over my glasses.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I was really digging. I made a high elf character who was bow and sword, kind of, between the two. And I was having a lot of fun. And then I started to realize, so this is what everyone was talking about with the stick drift.
Oh,
We
really?
To aim with the bow, and it would go, woo. It would just run off to the side. and like I recalibrated the sticks, and I'm like, this finally fixed it. And all of a sudden my character runs off to the right. I'm like, this is dumb. And I could not, I wanted to play it, but I couldn't play it because the stick drift
You need new
was the
Joy-Con.
thing. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. But like I've played I played Breath of the Wild. We played like Mario Kart and Mario Party, which obviously doesn't need a lot of stick accuracy, but I've played multiple games on the Switch and I've never seen this as bad as it was on Skyrim.
But
That's because it's something that gets worse, the stick drift. Play Breath of the Wild now, you'll notice the drift.
and my wife has been playing Phoenix Rising. Phoenix Rising, which is actually, if you want something to hold you over to the new Fable, that game feels like, oh my gosh, the writing is like Fable. The jokes, Shalene, you would love that game. You would love that.
Check that out.
It's like Fable mixed with Assassin's Creed. It's so good. Like I love watching her play it because it's hilarious. So yeah, I played some Skyrim on vacation as much as I could without getting frustrated. We played Mario Kart, or not Mario Kart. We played Mario Party for the Switch, which is so much fun with family, especially when you've been drinking. And speaking of that,
have you played Overcooked on the Switch while drinking with family?
Ew.
Brilliant. So much fun. Or it could actually end up in you fighting, but
what we also did play down there together was, I can't remember what it's called, Super Mario Golf, the Mario Golf game for the Switch.
Okay.
Boy, was it more in depth than we expected.
Really?
Like,
you gotta put spin and stuff on
have to hold the controller a certain way. And like at this point we had all had a few drinks and stuff, because again, it's vacation, tropical island, and we were trying to figure out the
was it you and your wife, or were there other people there?
Oh, it was me. It was my wife, my mother-in-law.
Okay.
I can't remember if my father-in-law was there too, because they went with us on the vacation. But it was like all of us. No, I can't remember.
How much booze did you drink?
A bottle of.
Oh, right. We talked about this. Never mind.
So, yeah, it was my birthday. But yeah, it was a lot of fun playing that golf game. It was really difficult, and like, Sarah a couple days later actually like put time into doing the solo mode and learning how to play the mechanics of the game. And she's like, this game is so much more in depth, because we thought it was like Wii Sports Golf, where you just like kind of like
hit the ball
it and it goes.
It's like, pitching. It's mini golf. Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Since I've been back, I really haven't been in the mood to play anything. And I've been playing a lot of Ghost Recon Wildlands, like the one where like every street soldier is an anti-sniper. So I decided to screw the sniping and just go in guns a-blazing. And I've been having fun playing that while watching Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes,
that's what I do.
I watch Whose
Line.
I watch Whose Line every day at lunch now. I have it set on the PVR to record, and I just go in and I play an episode.
These are the old ones.
Oh, all of them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Colin Mockery.
Yes.
Colin Mockery is
This Carol Channings are the
Canada's
best.
best comedian. He's just brilliant. He has this like somberness about him when he tells his jokes. Like it's almost like cynical, but it's not. Ah, it's so good.
It's that Eeyore thing where like Eeyore delivers a joke that any normal person would deliver and it wouldn't be funny, but for some reason because he's dry, it snaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Ghost Recon, and then also I started The Witcher 3 again, mostly because I've been reading a book on Shalene's recommendation that I really wanted some like in-depth like political fantasy stuff. And so I had been playing The Witcher 3, but I've been really kind of not bored of games. I don't know. I just need something new. Everything's just kind of the same. I don't know. I that's kind of why I'm waiting for Starfield to come out. I want like a good like fantasy space game that's like Mass Effect-y.
Well, No Man's
So-
Sky's got a new update coming, and apparently it's
No,
pretty
but
big.
Yeah, I have that installed again. I do need to play that again. I just get lost in all the side quests and it just ends up being so grindy.
Mhm.
Not grindy, that's the wrong word, but anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Okay.
Shalene? Or whoever's next, vendor? I don't know.
Vendor can go next.
Okay. Well, I've been playing Lawn Mowing Sim, which, as you guys know, dropped on August 10th, I think. Got my company. Got my company up and running. Oh, you haven't heard about this?
I have heard about it, but I have to do this in real life. It's
Well,
terrible.
I
It's not
pay.
fun.
I
sweat.
I pay people to come and cut my
Things
lawn so
stick.
that I can play it in simulation fashion. So
Guys, look, while you're out there sweating, look what I'm doing.
yeah, in front of a fan with a cold one. Yeah, I hired Imogen, who is, if you
Beep.
recall, is the new hire that likes to play video games. So
Yeah, she was the one that we all recommended.
Yes,
that you hired.
the last one, the one before her, he said that he didn't like pirates, so I just turfed his application right into the garbage. So yeah, Imogen, she starts next week. I will report back on that on the next episode of Gamestack.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Like your new hires in the game literally have like a time period before they come on board because they have a fake in-game 2-week notice at some other fake company.
Yes.
Jesus.
That's incredible.
No.
That's
Yeah.
that's a level of depth that
Oh yeah, and
I don't know if I want to deal with.
you can only cut lawns on certain days for customers because you've already cut them that week. So it's
Well,
not
that makes
like
sense.
there's a whole calendar.
But for like a new hire to be like, I have a fake job that I have to put in my 2-week fake
Yeah.
notice.
Oh, and I have to I have to put ads out for my business. Like I have to send out ads, and like you can only send out so many ads per week, and you have to pay for them, and it's like this big thing.
That is
There's-
so funny.
There's this whole economy behind lawn mowing companies that I'm just learning about. All I wanted to do was cut grass, but now suddenly I'm an economist and entrepreneur. Anyways, I've also in the line of simulators, I've also been playing American Truck Sim, and I've hopped back into ETS, but I quickly realized that all of my work is gone because when Windows did a thing, as it usually does, I lost my profile in ETS. So I'm starting from scratch.
No.
But I do want to just emphasize that the multiplayer and convoy options in ATS and ETS that they've added into the game is so good. It is
Nice,
so
nice.
easy to use and so quick, and it works so well. Ravensview and I have been doing a ton of convoys, streaming a lot of it. It's been a lot of fun. We just hook up our trucks and go, and we bullshit about the world, and it's great.
Do you listen to like cheesy 70s like country?
Yeah,
listen.
sometimes if I'm going
On the
through
road
if I'm
again?
going through Arizona, you betcha.
You did not just call Willie Nelson cheesy though.
Well,
You did
yeah, I
not.
realized that was the worst. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the wrong thing.
Like
to do.
this could end our friendship. Right?
I'll have
Well,
you know the station is called Big Rig FM. Thank you very much.
Firstly, I couldn't think of the lyrics to the song Convoy, which is by
Yeah.
who?
Well, the lyrics are
Toby Keith.
Convoy.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the song that
It's
popped into my
Toby
head.
Keith, isn't it?
No, this is
No,
way
it's
older
old.
than Toby Keith.
Yeah, it's like 60s.
C.W.
70s?
McCall.
Yeah.
There you go, Convoy.
Yeah.
That's the song I wanted to sing, but the only thing that popped into my head because Oktoberfests was Willie Nelson on the Road Again. And by no measure is he cheesy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
I love Willie Nelson. So
tonight.
Oh, damn ads. I thought I could just
Are
pull
you
it
gonna
off.
play the song and
No.
get us like kicked
No.
off of Twitch?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Vaccinator is putting the lyrics in the chat. We got a big old convoy rocking through the night.
Honestly,
Ain't
though,
she beautiful convoy?
when I'm sitting there and I'm behind the wheel and I've got 19 axles behind me and I'm going down the freeway and a car decides that it's just, let me tell you, the AI in this game could not be more realistic to real life. Like, they'll switch lanes in front of you and then brake check you. And when you're in an 18-wheeler pulling 38,000 tons, or 38,000 pounds, it's not exactly, stop on a dime. So these cars, they go flying off into the ditch. It's like awesome. It's roller derby on the I-10. It's so good.
Oh, that kills me.
Shalene-
Roller derby on the I-10.
The only reason I want to play this game is because I want to have like a CB handle.
There is an
Radio
actual CB radio that you can use in the trucks on Multiplayer Convoy, but Ravensview and I, we just hop on a Discord call because it's just right.
My grandma had a CB radio in her car when I was little. You know that car that I showed you guys that I drove for a long time?
Yes.
That was my grandma's for like 250,000 miles before I ever drove it. And she had a CB radio in there, and her call sign was Pistol Packin' Mama.
Yes.
Jeez.
I knew it.
Write a book. I keep telling you this. Just write your family history and it will sell. It's ridiculous.
She got deputized.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, wait for it. She got deputized by the Lincoln County Sheriff so that they would let her take her gun on the plane.
What? You can do that in America?
Like back in the
then you
70s.
could. Back then you could.
That's incredible.
That was a pre 9/11 world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
So she
look,
had a
write
deputy card. My little grandma had a deputy card in her purse
God bless
so
her.
that she could carry her pistol.
That's amazing.
So if you're deputized, can you technically like arrest people?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you can.
That's pretty badass. Anyways, it's a lot of fun doing the convoys and exploring the United States as well as Europe. I have most of the DLCs. Texas, I think, is coming soon. Wyoming just released this week. New Mexico is so much fun to drive through. Shalene has seen it. She can attest to its accuracy.
Yes, I was freaking out. He drove by my office.
Can you drive through Pennsylvania? I'm just curious.
Pennsylvania is not on the map. Yeah, it's not on the map. Not yet. Yeah, I think Texas is probably as far east as it goes.
Okay.
I have Colorado and Idaho and
mean,
Utah.
What's worth visiting that's farther east than Texas?
What? You have the
I would love
Susquehanna
to do
River,
some hauls down
which
Maine area.
which is one of
I'm
the oldest
teasing you.
rivers in the world.
I'm teasing.
Rick is
And then
very proud
and
about
then
Pennsylvania.
No, I really don't like Pennsylvania, honestly.
We should all be proud of where we come from.
I've lived here all my life. It's boring.
Well, I mean, I live in
And
Alberta.
technically, I'm from Maryland.
Well, do people apologize when you tell them where you're from? Because that's what happens to
No.
me.
Really?
They're like, where are you from? I'm like, Alberta. They're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, I know.
What I get is like, oh, how do you like the United States? Your English is fantastic.
How do you like the United States?
Jesus.
Well, good, I guess.
I've lived here all my life. It's fine.
Your English is fantastic.
Also, I get, you don't look Mexican. Yeah.
It's funny you don't look like an idiot, but clearly you are one.
People suck.
We kind of had that on the island. Every time we would go to some place on the island, which is like one of 5 places, they'd be like, oh, how long are you here? And we're like, for the week. Like, where are you staying? You're staying on Hag's Head because they don't expect us to be on the island. We're like, no, we're staying here on Defusky. And they're like, oh, really? They'd get so excited because like they're locals.
Mhm.
And like for someone to stay for a week on an island, they're like, you clearly understand the lore. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, I do.
One of the really weird things when Carlo and I were in Europe was that people would tell us that they could tell that we were Canadian, but they wouldn't tell us what specific things.
How self-conscious do you
I-
get?
They were
in
like-
that?
really
they were
wanna
like,
know.
we can tell you must be Canadian, right? And we're like, yes. And they're like, oh, that's good. And we're like, you can tell that? And they're like, yeah.
Well, I mean, Vendor, you were probably sitting there wearing your moose pants, taking a little sip out of your maple syrup bottle. Just
He's got a Canada flag on his shirt.
How can you tell? I've got a giant fucking flag sticking.
It says, "I'm definitely Canadian" on it.
Well, I just wonder what it is that makes it. Anyways, so that's the thing. I've also been playing No Man's Sky. I've jumped back into that. I've been doing actually a little bit of streaming this week, which has been a lot of fun. Thank you to all of the people who have popped into my streams and shot follows and stuff like that. Doing a new playthrough in No Man's Sky. I have found the planet. Do you see behind me? It's pretty much like this.
Really?
Palm trees and beaches, baby. It's
Oh.
awesome. And there's like animals everywhere, and they're all friendly, and there's no sentinels, and there's
I
like
hate
tons of
sentinels.
resources, and it's a cool 27 degrees Celsius, which is, I don't know what that is in freedom dollars, figure it out. They have made some new updates to the game in terms of the catalog, like the compendium where you find all of the animals and you go in
Yeah.
and you look at the details and stuff. They've made it even more detailed now. So now you can
Oh, wow.
click on specific things. It pulls up a larger picture of it so that you can look at it in detail.
Oh.
It's really nice.
So it's like a Pokedex.
Yes.
Ooh.
I know. No Man's Sky has suddenly become a completionist dream, which
In a game that you
as a
could never
com-
complete.
in a game that you can never complete, as you can imagine. Yeah. So there's all these planets that I want to like look at every flippin' leaf and blade of grass and pebble on the ground and fish in the ocean, and I'm like diving through caves just looking for these stupid things because I have to find them to complete the list, and it's an obsession. I tamed my first animal. He's like a dinosaur dog.
Nice.
And
sounds cute.
if you don't pay attention to him, he goes and he eats other things. So
Oh,
um yeah.
I was
just
actually
like
gonna,
a real
I
dog.
was
Yeah.
gonna make a joke and like smush the two words together, but I realized it would just be dog.
Dino dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dino.
so-
Archton points out that you have Dino.
Yeah,
That's
he's
true.
literally a dino. Yeah. It's kind of weird. He has like this like wolfy kind of snout, but then he has like these spikes and sort of like an armadillo butt. It's very like shelly and like rigid and dinosaur scaly kind of thing.
Ooh,
And then he has
rigid.
this really long like poofy foxtail. So he's kind of cool, and he's green.
So it's the platypus of the quadruped world in your.
And I got a rover, and I got the bigger rover, which is like the
Oh, the
six-wheeler.
six-wheeled. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
That thing's awesome.
Got my
Holds
base.
so much stuff.
Got my base going. It's 2 levels. It's all glass. I can see out into the
Ooh.
ocean and watch the stars and the sunset. I've got my solar panels set up, hooked up to my
Nice.
batteries, which
God,
are
I
powering
play
my
this game
lights. The building in this game, they have updated it beyond what I could have ever
Did they?
imagined. It's so good. Like the
Yeah, I
mechanics
gotta
was
play
really
this
good,
game.
but the objects that you can get now,
Oh, so many.
there's so many.
I got a little robot that puts around my house.
Did you
I bought
name
him
it
with
Rosie?
Quicksilver. No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can name it, but I bought him with Quicksilver.
Mr. Jetson.
I did get. Did I get the live ship? I think I did get a live ship eventually. I don't remember.
Yeah, anyways, it's really good. Shalene and I also played some It Takes Two, but I think we talked about that on the last episode, didn't we?
I think we have.
With
Yeah, I
Tim,
don't think
yeah.
we've played anything new since
So
then.
if you want to hear about that, go listen to episode 93. Now we need to talk about Sea of Thieves.
Which I forget because
And I also forget. So over to you, Shalene.
Yeah, Shalene
Okay,
will.
so Sea of Thieves. We've been playing through the Jack Sparrow Tall Tales together. Myself and Rick and Bender and Archon have been on the team playing the Jack Sparrow Tall Tales, and we're dumb, guys. We're real dumb.
What?
We were going through. I think it was the 4th Tall Tale, or was it the 3rd one? It was one of the ones in the middle, number 3. Bender says number 3. And we were having a grand time, right, doing this tall tale. And there was this one point at which we had achieved the goals in this area. It was time to progress to a new area. And they provided us with this rowboat. And there was this little canal leading through a tunnel, and we're like, okay, let's do this. So we hop in the rowboat and row our way through this little canal. And
Let's just preface it by saying when we arrived in our galleon, we thought threading the needle through this tiny little channel was going to be next to impossible.
Well,
so
it-
intuitively, it would seem like they want us to stop and get
plainly,
Yeah, because
we're
it wasn't
supposed to
even a
use
channel.
this-
It was multiple islands and routes around the islands, and
Plainly,
they gave
we
you
were
a
supposed
rowboat
to
off.
use
And
the
then
rowboat.
there was a rowboat, and like, why else would they put a rowboat there?
Mhm.
to take the rowboat around.
So,
we were taking
four of
the
us
rowboat.
hop into this rowboat, which is quite a tight squeeze.
Mhm. It's a good thing we're all friendly. And
Is that your sword? Nope. Good.
Yeah, you got any more bananas?
oh gosh, you guys,
A bunch.
we were floating down the river in our little canal, and eventually we no spoilers for the story, but we were progressing through the objectives, and suddenly we find ourselves in the rowboat on the open ocean.
It's opened up.
Just a complete ocean.
Like,
And you're like,
ah, crap.
huh. Wow, I thought the
Maybe we
Rockies
should-
would have been a
maybe we
little
should-
rockier than this.
Maybe we should have brought the ship. Maybe we should have brought the ship, guys.
Yeah.
And we were committed at this point.
Mhm.
So we persisted. It was difficult, but we persisted, and we finished this tall tale in the rowboat, but it would not let us row through the final portal to come
Well-
back to the normal Sea of Thieves.
Well, no, because you and me died somehow in
No,
the
but-
rowboat.
Before we died, we tried going through that final portal. It
I
would
didn't
not
think we
allow
made
us
it
to
there.
do so. We
Yeah.
did.
See, I thought we died, and we ended up back on the galleon at
And
the
then
very
we did
start.
die. We
And then
did
I
die.
glitched off the boat.
That's
Mhm.
right, you did.
And-
You
and,
couldn't
like,
even get on it.
It was like I was in the middle of the ocean, like I was sitting in the boat, but
Yeah.
you
We're
just
guys were
doing this.
way, way off in the distance, and
Yeah.
I couldn't get to you.
And we had to sail that galleon from the very beginning of the quest all the way through it.
It was like a good 30 minutes for us to sail that stupid
We're
galleon.
so dumb.
So if you do
So
the Tortuga Tall Tale,
Take your boat.
take your
Take your
boat.
boat.
Take your boat.
Galleons will fit.
It was a lot of fun though. Tortuga
It
was pretty
was.
cool. It's a labyrinth.
It was neat.
It is a
It was
labyrinth. We were so lost. Well, I was lost, but Archon and Rick seemed to know exactly where they were. Shalene was looking at all the pretty shops.
neat. Mhm.
And honestly, Shalene, when you started out with like, we are so dumb, I was waiting to defend ourselves. But then when you brought up the rowboat bit, I'm like, nah, we were all dumb. We were all
Yeah.
dumb there.
We
We
made
should-
a terrible choice.
We should probably also talk about the fourth one, which was we were sailing
So
with
long
Jack
ago.
Sparrow. We sailed with him.
It was fun sailing with Jack.
I don't
Isn't that the
remember
one where we encountered
The Black Pearl.
No, the Davy Jones ship, the Flying Dutchman.
Flying Dutchman. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a lot of
It
fun.
was good times.
I don't remember the
Ooh.
fourth one at all.
It had the organ. Rick, remember the organ?
That's right, and you played the organ.
Yes,
And
I
then
got
we had
play
to
that.
we had to the ship, we had to fight all those dudes. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It was so
Yep.
good.
I remember now.
So
You
good.
actually got to board the Flying Dutchman and use the cannons.
Yes, yeah.
Great.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Now, why can't we have a ship like that?
I
With all
know.
the
Well,
levels. Shalene
We
can
had
play
a
the organ as we
perfectly
sail across.
excellent rowboat. I don't know why you're so greedy.
Hey,
You
I've
had a
done
perfectly
I've
excellent
done
rowboat.
crazier things in a rowboat. So in Sea of Thieves.
Oh, right,
Yes.
right, yes, yeah. yep.
Yes, he fought a kraken. He fought a kraken from a rowboat.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
I personally wish we could like customize our ships a little bit more than liveries and aspects. Like, could we put an organ in the back of our ship?
Can we put
I wish we
speed
could put a
fins on the
name
side?
them.
Speed fins?
Yeah.
I'd
Motorboats?
like to name the ship.
Yeah.
Yes. That'd be great.
The SS Minnow.
And to maybe save some ship livery loadouts.
Yeah.
Would be really fun.
Come
We
t-
are going to get custom servers soon. So,
Well, custom servers.
well, I was
They've
reading
been
an article
saying that
about
since like 2018.
this was June of 2020, and they put out custom servers as a test thing. And eventually it's going to come to us as like private. You buy the server and they're private, but there's no PvE progression.
Yeah.
So you just sail it
Oh,
with
that's
friends.
lame though.
It is,
Well,
but
I mean,
you get to
that's-
just sail it with friends. So you could do all the story stuff. I would imagine.
10 out of-
Anyway, I don't know.
Let me just say, Rare, because you listen to our show all the time.
Rinturn.
I would gladly forfeit my 10 million gold and 33 days of Sea
You
of
have 10 million
Thieves
gold.
that I've put into this game to have private servers.
You have 10 million gold.
Yeah, I just reached 10 million last night.
I'm almost at 1 million, and I was like, I'm bougie.
That's a huge milestone. But
It is. Oh yeah, but
I should also point out that last night we got 2 ancient skellies. Well, Tim got 2 ancient
Yes.
skellies.
The fact
Extremely
that-
rare.
the fact that it's 10 millionaire is telling a millionaire that that's a milestone is like Jeff
Keep going.
Bezos
You're a good
Jeff
little
Bezos.
saver.
patting like
That's
Ben
so
Affleck on the head, like,
cute.
oh,
Aren't you
Yeah.
Jeff
adorable?
Bezos patting Elon Musk on the back, like, keep going, you keep saving, you'll get there.
you're a great little saver. Keep going.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my gameplay. What about you, Shalene?
Lovely.
It's already been her turn.
Kind of Sea of Thieves, but she's played other
We
stuff.
did play some Sea of Thieves last night, and that was a good time. It was myself and Vendor and Archin and Tim, and we loaded up a galleon and did a gold hunter's vault quest, and that was good times.
Tim's a
And,
great sailor,
He is,
except
yeah.
y'all are lazy. I
Well,
was
yeah,
on them.
I'm-
Even
I don't
Archin,
know why. I don't
even
know why you
Archin was
What?
lazy.
Archin was?
Yes!
Usually I expect Shalene to kind of be twiddling off, but
And he'll come into the chat and he'll say, "Actually, you know what? He was right. I was a little lazy last night."
Yeah. Yeah, Archin is usually like the autopilot on the boat. Like,
But I was like,
it's
"Whoop-ah,
just-
whoop-ah," with all the sails and the bings and the bumps and the wheel, and I was doing all the things.
Yes, running
you
the
look, he
galleon
was
all
in
on
the
your
chat.
own.
He's like, I was slacking.
It was a good time. It was a good time. The best part was that we had done a vault because we just wanted to get some gold and wrap
Never
and
done one of
whatever.
those.
Yeah, maybe we can
Yeah.
do that
Really
tonight.
fun.
So we did a vault, and then we get back to the outpost, and we cash in all our stuff, and then Archin looks at the wheel and he's like, "Oh, look at all those maps with all those X's," and we all looked and we're like, "Ooh, that's a lot of treasure." So then we like raised anchor and headed on back out to sea. And it was just like
And
awesome.
I was already so sleepy at that point. I was already ready to go to bed. Like when we got in from
Shalene
the
was
first
checked
quest.
out. She was checked out before we
Mhm.
even cashed in, and then she
Mhm.
got her second wind, and we were sinking people, and she was
Yes.
like, it was crazy. We went to this tiny little island. There was like 6 chests on the island, but when we arrived, there was coincidentally also an entire skelly fight. And
I
I
did
was.
this skelly fight by myself.
She did the
guys.
whole thing by herself.
Why do I miss all this? It's always when I'm not around.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
like
I
if-
walked in on the menage a Tim that you guys had going on.
that was so funny. Rick hopped onto the Zoom call, and we had a full crew for Sea
It's
of
like,
Thieves.
Tim? He's like, Rick? Shalene's like, you're home early. What's going on? I'm the fifth wheel.
It
My
was.
own private Zoom.
Tim was in our sheets. It was not good. It was
They
a
all
good.
had,
It
like,
was.
the
It
sheet
was a lot
pulled
of
up to
fun.
their neck. They're like, hi.
I'm really glad, Shalene, that you got your second wind because you were fading fast, and then all of a sudden it was like swords and guns out, and she was killing skellies and blowing things up, and I was on a sunken ship over in the middle of the ocean, and all I could hear was things exploding and gunfire, and Tim was up in the crow's nest, and Archin, I'm not sure what he was plotting the next course or something, and she just had it. She just did it all. It was fine.
I did have a lot of backup from Tim. He did come to the island. And,
Yeah, he was sniping.
um,
That's right.
He provided some extreme bodyguard services. So, and I also took him shopping because he was still wearing the default sailor clothes.
He had a man
And,
bun, too.
Yeah, he had a man bun, and that's very not Tim like to have a man bun. So I took Tim to town, and we got him a haircut. We got him some nice clothes, and he's quite the stylish pirate now. So
It was.
that's right.
And we did sink a
Archin
ship.
was on the ship because there was another ship in the area. He was
Mhm.
making sure we were safe
All
from
the
the other
fun
players.
stuff, man.
So
Yeah.
there was this other galleon, right? And they were at Golden Sands Outpost for like a good majority of the night that we were sailing around. So they weren't really any sort of immediate threat to us because they weren't pursuing us. And I thought to myself, it's kind of weird that they're sitting at the outpost with their sails down, which means that they are anchored, which means that they're probably not that experienced of players because that's just not what you do, especially in a galleon because it takes so long to raise the anchor. And then they were kind of sailing around and doing their own thing, and they got skelly shipped by 2 sloop skellies. And we were watching them this whole time and keeping an eye on them and where they were because we weren't really sure what they were going to do. But we managed to get everything done. And then we were kind of doing this like extra bits at the end. And I went over to a sunken ship because I thought I would be efficient and get the gold out of the sunken ship so that by the time you guys were done digging on the island, they could pull the ship up and just harpoon all the gold and we'd sail off into the sunset happily. Well, these guys just so happened to go to the neighboring island that was super close to the sunken ship. And when they set sail, I went onto my megaphone and I was like, hey, how's it going? Like, we got some treasure here. Do you want it? Like, you guys can have it. You know, trying to be nice and, like, be friendly because I don't really want to get in a fight. And they were just, like, having none of that. They were calling me all kinds of names and, like, hot micing and shooting at me. Terribly, by the way. These guys were probably the worst pirates I've ever seen on Sea of Thieves.
They were so bad. They were so bad.
They had silly sails, so their sails were all over the place.
Silly sails.
They were shooting at me with scoped weapons. I was standing still, and they were still missing me. So I don't know what that was about. Alcohol may have been a factor. I'm not sure. And then they were trying to like sink us. And Archin was like, "Who are these guys? Like, what is this? Like, get out here."
What are they doing on my ocean?
What is this? So they started coming towards us, and I was still on the boat, and I was going to try and board them, but then I caught a merm back. So Archin puts the boat in motion. I hop on. I'm like, "Where are they?" And so I go up to the crow's nest, and I get the one splody barrel that we had. Climb back down. I hop in the water. I missed them the first time. I was like way off. And then I said to Archin, okay, bring them around. Meanwhile, Shalene and Tim are like firing cannons and fixing holes and bucketing and doing all this stuff. I'm swimming around in the open ocean with a splody barrel, and there's like sharks behind me. It was wild. I caught up to them, boarded their ship, went down to the lower deck and blew them to smithereens, sunk their boat. They made them uninstall the game, and then we finished digging our chests and finished out for the night. So that was our major victory. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it was two
Thunder
guys on a
wrecked them
galleon.
So profoundly.
Like 2 guys on a galleon. What are you doing? They could have easily sunk us if they were in a sloop.
Mm-hmm.
They could have, because they're more maneuverable, right? So, yeah, it was silly.
If they're uncoordinated, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
And I want to play Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I think we should do that very soon after the show.
Yes. Sorry, Shalene, that's the rest of the... Continue on with what else you've been playing.
That pretty much covers the Sea of Thieves. I've played a little bit of Fallout 76, just working on the homework. Really, Meat Week happened, so I played a little bit of Meat Week. I missed most of Meat Week because I was also on vacation. Yeah, I was. It was great. I met up with Archin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we hung out, and it was great. We did an escape room, and I felt like that was almost a sort of a video game.
Did you play any games?
It was really fun.
While you were...
We didn't play any games. I took my Switch so that we could have some Mario Kart shenanigans or something, but we didn't play any video games while we were there. So
I kind of thought you would have like set up a whole LAN party.
He kept telling me that he was going to bring his Xbox, but he didn't bring it. So
escape rooms are fun. I've done one.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was kind of like the puzzles were very much like being in a video game. So it was really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was a good vacation.
Good.
Well, that's a show for tonight, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Any plugs or announcements?
Caffeine related stuff.
Don't forget, next Friday, that Fallout show, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. The show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you go to oakandcrow.com, you can buy a bag of our own blend, Peru, Cajamarca, Guatemala, Huehue, Tenango. We Just Love Games.
We're gonna get that
blend.
down. We just
Um,
love coffee, is what it's called.
Yes. $2 from every bag goes to the Children's Miracle Network. So,
Mhm.
yes.
Buy the coffee; it's delicious.
You can email us and tell us about your video game experiences at info@wejustlovegames.com, or just tell us about the show. We love to hear from you. You can also find us on Twitter at We Just Love Games, Shalene at Shalene L, Rick at Rick McVick, myself at Vendertron N. We are also on the Facebooks, facebook.com/We Just Love Games, facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. We're on Discord. If you'd like to join and you're listening live, scroll down right below Rick. On the left-hand side there is a link to our Discord page. We're also on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and now Spotify. So please like, subscribe, and review our show, and we will shout you out. Thank you all for listening. Does anybody have any last words?
See, I thought that's what all that was that you just deleted.
No, that's from the last episode.
Oh.
What are you all still doing here? The show's over. Go play some games.